Fellow Barbadians, it gives me great pleasure to celebrate with you and the entire small business fraternity Small Business Week 2021 under the theme Building Back Better, the road to a resilient and resourceful recovery. This year's theme aptly describes this moment when countries across the world are experiencing the highest levels of vulnerability due to the socio-economic challenges generated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Beyond the socio-economic shocks triggered by the COVID-19, we as small island developing states have long been mindful of our own vulnerabilities. Those vulnerabilities have frequently manifested themselves via natural disasters, in climate change, in globalization, and myriad other developments that have negatively impacted and undermined the several gains which we have achieved through the years. These disruptive changes have collectively struck at the heart of small business sustainability in Barbados. A very cherished and treasured friend of mine once commented to me that the challenge we face lie in the fact that small businesses, including the youngest of entrepreneurs today, now fight alongside the corporate giants from their backyards, from their garages, from their living rooms, in order to gain rewards. The acclaim of such companies and brands is now well documented the world over. We have all heard, for example, of the successes of Facebook and of Yahoo and Google, which were conceptualized in dorm rooms at universities, and of Apple, which started in a garage. Despite these most humble of beginnings, however, these are all celebrated success stories. The defining element, that cherished friend once said, was that they all embodied the entrepreneurial dream, the belief that the individual desire to reach the stars leads one to believe that success is only ever days ahead. But beyond the passion that drives the entrepreneur is the desire to be a part of greatness, the desire to be part of a wider network that showcases your unique skills and showcases your talents. Despite the trials, therefore, it is imperative that government works with stakeholders to formulate strategic responses to the inherent risks and to the potentially adverse impacts of all the various challenges that confront this sector. To protect and offer support to this vital sector, in order to mitigate some of the negative effects caused by this pandemic, my government introduced several policy prescriptions and regulatory interventions in order to assist small, medium-sized enterprises to weather this storm and improve the environment within which recovery can take place. Among the initiatives introduced have included a financial assistance program, for example, which was instituted by the government and executed through the ministry with the intention of providing a financial lifeline to small businesses which were affected by the national pause, in some cases dramatically affected, during the period February and March 2021. Now, under this initiative, over 8,000 applications were assessed and approved, and collectively, these allowed these small businesses the opportunity to reset their operations and, more importantly, to pivot towards being competitive and self-sustaining. Having recognized the significant contribution that vending, for example, has made to the development of Barbados, and the need for this country to decriminalize vending and give it the level of recognition it deserves, the government also introduced a new policy and legislative framework for vending. The result of this will be to empower those unsung heroes of this land and to position them to play a more meaningful role in the national effort to build back Barbados better. It is in this regard that my ministry, in collaboration with the Barbados Association of Retailers, Vendors and Entrepreneurs, the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, the Barbados Community College, the Barbados Cooperative Credit Union League, the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the Markets Division of the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security embarked on a project to provide a number of innovatively designed vending kiosks for the vendors of Swan Street and its environs. Additionally, my ministry will also facilitate the construction of a number of vending facilities in what will be now defined as specially designated vending zones in Barbados, equipped with running water, appropriate sanitary facilities for the first time ever, and electricity, so as to allow those vending on the nation's highways to do so in a safe and in an aesthetically pleasing and commercially viable environment. My ministry has also championed a new liquor license regime in order to repeal and replace the Antiquated Liquor Licenses Act, so as to better facilitate businesses by creating multi-year licenses, by creating entertainment licenses, and even more importantly, to protect our children by the introduction of a legal age for drinking. Beyond that, the issuance of liquor licenses will now be done via an e-service platform, which shifts responsibility from the magistrate's court in the days of old to the Department of Consumer Affairs and Commerce. The launch of the Financial Literacy Bureau in October of 2020 was a matter about which I am also very proud. And this was done to facilitate the generation of higher levels of financial literacy among this country's population, segmented into educational institutions, into households, and into businesses. It is my ministry's intention through this initiative to facilitate the growth of intergenerational wealth creation and to promote economic enfranchisement and to equip every Barbadian at every level of this society with the requisite financial knowledge and the tools to competently sustain their livelihoods. Also key among the initiatives to promote growth, which we are looking at and implementing, is the creation of Msme Registry, which is being designed to position this ministry to capture and to collate and to analyze relevant, timely, and accurate data on the MSME sector for the first time in Barbados' history. And this is absolutely essential if we are going to effect better decision making for the sector, and more importantly, if we are going to provide the type of targeted assistance which we did in February of this year and in March, which will allow for the continuation of national development. My ministry is also working with Impact Justice and with the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill campus, to develop a collateral registry in Barbados. And I want to emphasize that this is an important development because such a registry would allow MSMEs to benefit from an online facility where they can register their charges and collateral created by borrowers to secure credit facilities provided by lenders, as well as to facilitate the provision of a wider range of assets in this country. The benefit of this is that once brought into fruition, this registry will empower micro and small business people in an entirely unprecedented way by allowing them to use their equipment, their tools and machinery, their crops, their livestock, their vehicles, accounts receivable as collateral in a brand new economy. When previously, collateral in Barbados was largely restricted to the ownership of real estate and bricks and mortar structures. It is equally no secret that renewable energy interventions have to be deployed if Barbados is to maximize its efforts to build an entrepreneurial ecosystem that is more economically viable. And to this end, my ministry continues to collaborate with the service providers of renewable energy solutions so as to build out this sector more efficiently, while on the other hand, encouraging households, individuals, and small enterprises to benefit from the numerous opportunities that have been made available through government's evolving renewable energy interventions. All of the initiatives which I've highlighted here are but a few of the actions being pursued to encourage sustainability and growth. The road to a resilient and resourceful recovery must be paved with a spirit of cooperation and collaboration if we are to survive in this uncertain future and if our businesses are to occupy their rightful place and space in the regional and in the global marketplace. The theme on which Small Business Week 2021 is grounded is very fitting in my view, and I pledge government's ongoing and unstinting commitment towards building Barbados back better and promoting its recovery through a more resilient small business sector that is globally competitive, regionally and nationally relevant. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Barbadians, I thank you.